and they then came back across the road. Tandy got picked up because he was braking in front of that, and the two cars that spinning weren't.
He was coming around the outside of them.
So he comes through. Oh, yes. So
jolly lucky he didn't take out the other Porsche as well, actually.
Yeah, absolutely right. Race control would be looking at that. Inception, McLaren. The high-class car goes through. Porsche goes through. And then we just lose the picture for a moment from the onboard. That will be through the G loading. The 023 Ferrari, very fortunate to miss that, as Nick Tandy literally had nowhere to go, got clipped from behind.
He was pretty much past it, and just, as the car spun around, he would have known nothing about that whatsoever.
BMW was Augusto Farfus just in behind that, and masterful avoidance there.
Yeah.
Just had a car and a half's length to be able to go through. I'm still trying to work out how this started. Oh yeah, it was the high-class car that moved across onto the 023, was it? Yes, it was. And then that picked up the Inception car, and then that picked up the Penske Porsche Motorsport. Joe Bradley's had that Ferrari, or has that Ferrari, into the pit lane.
Yeah, he came in, John, very, very quickly after that accident. That's why I was suspecting he was guilty by association, but no, he was involved. Front of the car was slightly damaged. All it's done is put a front bumper on and a new bonnet, and it's gone straight back out. Not really any extensive sort of damage that would delay the car.
Shea Adam is down at Penske Porsche Motorsport. Nick Tandy's been told he's got to get out of the car by the AMR safety crew. He's out. He's on his feet. He's saying, well, "I think you could have just pushed me out of there, and I would have driven it back." And Penske Motorsport, Shea, already getting ready, getting set up to fix that car.
Yeah, they don't know that Nick's out of the car. They're holding an engine cover on the wall. They've got a new tail on the wall as well. It's right below where Mr. Penske normally sits. And now they're bringing the engine cover out onto the pit lane. They're going to maneuver it so that they can take it back behind the wall. This car is going to go back to the garage. I hope that they can get it fixed. Remember, this is one of our championship contenders.
Nick having a discussion with the AMR safety crew there, because he wanted to stay with the car and have them pull it out. He's not happy. The car comes back. What's the rules on outside assistance here, Jeremy? If there aren't any, basically. Right, so if it gets back to the paddock and they fix it, it can come back out again, yeah?
Yeah, sensible. My book.
Nick being taken back to a different type of Porsche. He's in the back of the new AMR rapid response vehicle. Great to see the V8 engine back in the 2024 Cayman S. 4-litre twin turbo, 468 horsepower for the S, which gets that beautiful V8 engine back again. I thought we'd seen the last of that, but Porsche deciding to get that back into the Cayman S for 2024. And if you see a Dolomite silver version of that going around, give it a wave, because it's like to be Nick and Joe.
God, that was really unfortunate.
It was the lightest of touches between the high-class racing prototype, which just pitched the 23 Ferrari round. That picked up the Inception McLaren, and Nick Tandy gets hit from behind on the right rear and pitched into the wall. Who was in the 20 at the time? Was it Dennis Anderson? Yes, it was. So. Yeah. It's the big hit was the biggest hit there, Jeremy, was on the Inception McLaren and Brendan Iribe. That was driver's side onto a concrete wall, and Augusto Farfus was so good at avoiding that. If Nick had been half a second before, half a second afterwards, he'd have been through that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is when I know racing drivers will say there's no such thing as luck. You make your own luck. That's a luck situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was, as you say, so close to being free of that. But by the same token, number 7 car that was, you know, no, pretty well directly ahead of him, almost got collected as well. I mean, it could have been absolutely,
that could have been carnage. Yeah.
Yeah, disastrous for that Penske team. Of course, you know, still, you know, going for the championship is the Porsche teams.
Just a note there. I'm looking at the Porsche and the Inception cars. They took quite big hits. The Porsche